Hear that? It's coming from the hose, not the compressor. This hose, it's old, and the rubber, it's split in a couple places. You can see where I've tried to tape it up, still leaks out around there. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's kind of a problem. It does leak a lot of air, and the higher the PSI is, then the more air that it leaks. Right now, it's not even that high. It's only about 50 or 60 PSI right now, and it's already leaking. But I have a solution for that today. The solution is this Harbor Freight air hose. It's actually PVC, so it's coated. There's like a coating on the outside, and I would think that would, not leak as much. So the hard part about this is replacing the hose that's in this reel, because you can tell here this hose is much thicker than that green hose over there, and it's gonna take a different amount of wounds to wound it up. And so I'm worried that may be off, and we're gonna have to do some experimenting with that. But basically, I'm just gonna try to wound that hose into this reel, and it's much cheaper to just buy that hose and replace it, because the new reel is about $50 and that hose is only $15. Basically, how it works right now is this hose right here goes and it connects to the air compressor, and then it goes into some kind of little air compressor fitting right here, and what happens is your new hose will connect in here, go through this spring, and then around here and out, and right now it's all the way reeled out, and I have it in a stop. Whenever you have this hose and you reel it out, it has like some positive stops in it, and I have it set on one of those right now, and so that way when I reel the new hose back in, it'll just reel itself back in. But right now I'm going to try to undo this, which is where the new hose should connect, and hopefully it'll still be able to be clamped down right here. You can tell right there where all that hose is, it's dried up and it's creasing. That's a problem, because that's kind of the whole hose has done that a little bit, but this is just in a really extreme case, and I guarantee you that right there it leaks a ton. I'm afraid of the spring in this thing, doing something weird and like unwinding it or something. So what I'm going to do here is just put this clamp on this fitting, so I have a little bit more leverage in case stuff starts to go wrong. There were some clips holding the hose on, and I had to take them off so that I could keep turning this, because the hose was getting wound up in there. There we go, we got the hose off. We'll probably have to take this fitting off as well. I had some spring on here, and it looks like it would just be a decorative spring, because it didn't really have any tension on it. It was just going around the hose right here. So I found some pieces laying around, and basically what this is a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch adapter, and so the 1/2 inch will fit in here. It will thread into that, and then the 1/4 inch, well, it fits this, and I happen to have this connector as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Teflon on that, put these together, and make kind of my own adapter right here, and then I can put the new hose on. Now I'll be threading it into here, and obviously there's no way for me to get it quite as tight as that last one. I put a little bit less Teflon on it, so maybe I can at least get it in really far, but I just can't get the leverage I did on that last one. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get it in much further than that. I would say that's going to be pretty leak free right there. This part's going to be a little bit tricky. I got to thread this hose in while not binding up the hose too much. So I'm actually managing to hold the hose still right now while I twist the little nozzle that goes into the hose that's built in there. Kind of pointless because it doesn't really hold it down because the hose is thinner, but I put it back anyway. I guess I'll add this pointless spring back as well, because I guess the only really benefit I can see is that the hose doesn't scrape against this metal right here, which really isn't that sharp. But they put it there, and you know the Harbor Freight masterminds that designed this probably were not wrong. All right, let's see if it works. I'm gonna guide it all straight. Okay, so you'll notice here it didn't reel it in all the way, and I think I know why. When I had the larger diameter hose, it would wrap around, and then the outside diameter would be greater, which would make it take less revolutions. And this thinner hose, it can get it all in with less revolutions, which means there's no tension left here. How I can combat that? I think if I pull it out to here, and then lay the hose back on so that this right here sticks out on that positive stop, and wrap the hose around by myself, and then put it through here, then it should pull it in all the way. Now I need to go ahead and put my stopper on because this will just suck it all the way back in if I don't, because I've wound it up a little bit. So once I know that that's not going anywhere, I'm going to unwind the hose, and would you look at that, it winds all the way back up. So I've mounted my hose on a 2x6, and I'm just going to slide it in under the edge of this table, and then put in clamps from the edges to hold it on, and then I will put deck mates in from the top to fasten it to the underside of the table. You know, you can't buy, this is pretty custom right here, the green hose.